Welcome, everyone. This is Good News Radio. I am your host. I am Dr. Renee Sunday. You know, it's a privilege and an honor to be here with you. The thing that I really like about life, the thing is every day I strive to learn something new and, of course, to help somebody. That's my middle name. The things that we do here at Good Deeds is to let you know amazing good things are happening every second of the day. You just have to look out in nature, look in what's happening in your family, look what's happening on your job, look what's happening in your business. There are some amazing and good things and great things, awesome things, whatever adjective you want to use that's happening in the world. And we want to highlight that. We want you to shine your light to the world. And that's what we do. That's what I do in my life. And you know who I am. I am the platform builder. So what I do is I help people identify their purpose if they're not aware. And then we build a platform to be seen, be heard, and get paid. Yes, it's honorable to be paid for the things that we're doing. When we write a book, we want to sell the book. But guess what? Let me tell you what we're really doing with the book. We actually serving people. Because the information that you have, guess what, can help someone smile at night, can help someone actually just move forward in this journey we call life. Because, you know, so much is happening in other people's life and happening in your life as well. But we actually need to make sure that we be very mindful of our body, our health, our strength, our relationship, of course our business. So the things that we want to help you do is get information that you can make a change. All of us want to make a change, but we have to make sure we have the awareness. We have to make sure we have the education. And then we got to do the I. You know what the I is. The I is we need to implement it. and with everything we do, with the radio show, the podcast, the publishing company, you know, when I'm speaking, when I'm doing my thing, right, I want people to smile. I want people to gain information that they can move forward in their passion, dreams, and, of course, in their destiny. So I'm so excited to be here. We want to thank you for supporting us, the people that's here live, and also the people that's listening to our archive. We love you. We love you. We love you. And I always say, if you want to chat, you know how to contact us at reneesunday.com. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we have an amazing topic that we're going to talk about. You know, how are you feeling? Think about that. I know that may be something that you may have to think about, but how are you really feeling? You know, we have to always equate that to what are we eating. I mean, are we eating on the run? Are we eating healthy? Are we stopping by the places that have a sign in the air? You know what I'm talking about? Fast food? Or are we being mindful of what we're eating? We have a celebrity with us. We have an amazing young lady that's going to tell us some her award-winning, you heard what I said, right? Award-winning book. It feels good to feel good. And I love it, to learn how to eliminate, guess what, all the toxins so we can reverse the inflammation and feel good again. I have my pen and paper ready. I already told my team that we need this replay up real quick because I know I need to learn some of these things so we can actually be in preventive mode. But even if something's going on right now, this information will help you go forward. And you know how I am. I want you to actually get the link, which you tell us the link, and go and purchase the book, right? You know, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. You know, this is Good News, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday.
This is John Schamberger, founder and CEO of Millionaires Trainings Only. We are proud to support and listen to Good Deeds Live every Mondays and Thursday at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time with your host, the platform builder, Dr. Nate Sunday. So remember, wherever your mind can conceive and believe in your purpose, it can achieve. And don't stop. Get it.
I love it, Mr. John Schamberger. He's one of our supreme platinum sponsors. He supports everything that we do. Please check him out. He has his brand. It's called Millionaires in Training Owners Only. That he gives you information. They also have a radio show as well. But we want to actually get our information together. If you actually want to advertise or be a sponsor for our brand here, guess what? Go to reneesunday.com. And we don't want to delay. We want to welcome none of us than the fabulous Cheryl Muse. She's a certified nutrition coach. She's an award-winning, as I said earlier, author. And I'm just ready for her to give us some information, but we got to buy the book too, right? So we can actually realize how we need to really feel good and know what we're actually eating on a daily basis. We want to welcome Cheryl. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How you doing?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Wonderful, Cheryl. Welcome to Good Deeds. How you doing today?
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. And I'm so glad you started off with, how do you feel? Because I believe we don't ask ourselves that or tune into our bodies to find out we're really not feeling very good and our bodies are telling us something.
You said it. We said it. Well, Cheryl, I just very briefly introduce you. Please introduce yourself to our guests and the ones that's here live and the people that's going to be listening to the archive. Let us know a little bit more about you, because you really is changing the world by letting us know this information.
I'm trying to. Well, I was an entrepreneur for 25 years with my own jewelry business, which meant I worked 24/7. So when my body started telling me that things were going wrong, they sort of blew past my mind and I didn't pay any attention to them. First thing that happened was my mascara bothered me. Didn't matter which one I used, even the hypoallergenic, they made my eyes either itchy or they hurt. Then it was my underarm deodorant. They either made me blister or they made me rash. Then I couldn't stand being around anybody with fragrance. I couldn't breathe. So I even used to carry an EpiPen. And I wasn't understanding that what my body was telling me was that toxic load was building up in my body. And I just kept working, and stress was adding to my problems. And then it got really bad. One morning I woke up, my eyes, my lips, my tongue, everything was swollen. And I thought back, the thing that had changed was fabric softener, which ends up being one of the most toxic things in your health. Well, I still didn't pay attention. And then one morning I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. Every muscle and every bone in my body hurt. So I made an appointment. I went to the doctor. We ran some tests and I went again, and we ran some more, and I went again, and we ran some more. And finally she called me and she said, I want to give you steroids, but there's nothing wrong with you, and I think you should seek therapy. I went, what the heck? I am not going to live a life of pain and pills, and something's wrong with me because I hurt. So I turned my business over to my staff, and I started researching. And I tripped into a series of summits being run by the functional medicine community. And they ran one on the gut. They ran one on adrenals. They ran one on your thyroid. They ran one on foggy brain. And I had all those problems, and I listened to them all, and I kept coming back to I probably had autoimmune disease, and I probably had something called leaky gut. So I decided I was going to delve in and find out what leaky gut was. Well, it ends up there were two things I could do for myself without my doctor that would help put me on a track to go back to wellness. We still didn't know if I had autoimmune disease, but I could lower my stress, and I could start to eliminate toxins in my life. So I started researching. And there's a company called EWG.org that actually has a database with hundreds of thousands of items that are every day in our lives, and they rate them from 1 to 10 on toxicity. And I was appalled because practically everything in my life was loaded with toxins. So I started systematically removing them one by one. And along the way, I also found my own functional doctor who ran totally different tests than my conventional doctor. And she said, you're sitting on attack. We're going to look at your whole body. We're going to figure out what's gone wrong, and we're going to fix it. And I was like an onion being unpeeled as she was discovering what was going wrong with my body. Between what I did with my functional doctor, and in the end, over 5 years, I eliminated hundreds of toxins. I do have autoimmune disease, but today I have no pain. And so I decided, at that point I was 67. I decided to go back to school. I loved it that you called me a nice young thing. I went back to school at 67 to become a health coach, and I wrote an award-winning book. My book has now won 13 awards, and it's called It Feels Good to Feel Good, Learn to Eliminate Toxins, Reverse Inflammation, and Feel Great Again. And then I took my show on the road. This is, I think, my 78th podcast because as a guest, because I really want people to know what I learned, because I don't think we really have a health care issue in this country. We have a toxin problem that's creating the health care issue. It's making us sick, and it's the toxins in how they grow our food. It's the toxins in and on our food. It was my cosmetics. The cosmetic I used was an expensive brand of French cosmetics. It was a 9 on a 10-point scale. So all those toxins were going right through my skin. I no longer use any over-the-counter drugs because they're either really hard on your liver. I was allergic to aspirin, so I took Tylenol all my life. And Tylenol is unbelievably hard on the liver, much harder than they ever believed when it first came out. Came out when I was 18, if you can stand it. So, but if you're taking the other ones, they're really hard on the gut. So everything, you have to be really aware of what you're putting on and in your body. And I mean, I've changed all my pots and pans. I've changed how I stored my food. I've put a filter on my sink so that I have filtered water. I no longer buy water in plastic because the plastic is leaching toxins into what you're drinking, and you're paying 1,200 times more for it. Plus, there's little microbes of plastic in those plastic water bottles, so you're getting a double dose of poison. And even what comes out of your tap, I thought Flint, Michigan was unusual. Every city in America has some kind of icky toxins in their water. You can get a water department report and know what's in your water. It goes from everything from pharmaceuticals, which people are flushing down the toilet, to all those herbicides and pesticides that they're spraying all over your food that are going down into your groundwater and coming out of your kitchen tap. So it's really important to be aware of all of this. I commented that one of the most toxic things in your life was fabric softener. Well, the soap pods that we use in our washing machines and our dishwashers are even more toxic than that. They're so toxic that if a toddler ate them, you probably couldn't get them to the emergency room. So I wrote the book because it took me 5 years to find all this stuff out and to replace it. And so I wanted to give everybody a head start, at least to know what I found in my life and what I replaced it with. And then if you don't like my choice, that's not a problem. You can go back and research from there, but at least you get a running start. And if you buy my book and you write to me, I send you a workbook because you're not going to eliminate everything overnight. I actually had a beta girlfriend who read the book and eliminated everything in her house that was in my book, and her husband almost divorced her because she threw out all his favorite foods. You don't have to do it all at once. It's a process to lower your toxic load. So if you buy my book, I give you a workbook, you write down what you're finding toxic in your house, and when you run out of that item, you replace it with what you wrote down, because you're going to have it in a binder, easy to find, and little by little, you're going to lower your toxic load. And each thing eliminated that's lower in toxins is one step closer to health. So it's very doable.
Wow, that is so powerful. You know, let me ask you this, Cheryl, because someone actually sent a question in just now, but my mind went to that direction as well. With the hustle and bustle of people going here, there, and everywhere, what do you do when you actually traveling, or do you actually, a lot of people, still do the 9 to 5 or have to go to a business meeting? And unfortunately, I think why the fast food restaurants get this, like we just said, is fast food, but it's not helping us. So
yeah, I know ways around all of
in
that.
Your book.
My second book is going to be How Do I Live This Way? But what I did do, the number one objection I get is I can't afford to eat healthy. So I just posted an ebook on my website, 30 ways to get healthy food, and I'm charging $1.99 for it. You can Follow all the things in there to find better places to get food. Like, depending upon which city you are in, there's a new service called Imperfect Produce, which are all the things that are perfectly healthy and filled with tons of nutrients, but maybe the pepper has a dent in its side or the cucumber has a knob on it, so they can't sell it to the regular grocery store. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's just imperfect. And you can get it delivered for, I think it's 25 to 30% less than what you would buy food for elsewhere. And you get to choose whether you want organic or you don't want organic. In my opinion, you always want organic, but at least you want to follow the Dirty Dozen Clean 15 that EWG puts out. If it's on the Dirty Dozen side, it could have as many as 72 toxins on it. So those you stay away from. But you can choose from Imperfect Produce what you want, and they're slowly picking up cities all over the United States. I stick to my program all the time because I'm motivated. If I don't stick to it, I get sick. I get what's called a flare. But I have the second objection I get from people is, I don't have to worry about this because I'm not sick. Well, it can take 25 years before it rears its ugly little head. Toxic load builds over a long period of time. So one of the things I have on my website or in my book is, I think it's 20 signs you're not as healthy as you think, because they're the signs I missed that my body was trying to tell me. A simple one. There were days when I looked in the mirror when I looked pretty. And then there were days when I looked in the mirror and I was all puffy. Well, guess what? The puffy is inflammation. My body was trying to tell me something. I just wasn't paying attention to it. If you get a lot of headaches, that could be toxins. It's inflammation. If you have skin issues, skin is an inside issue. That's inflammation. If your hands swell up, that's inflammation. There's a whole bunch of signs that your body's trying to get through to you. And I had this theory, which was the truth in this, that first the universe pokes me, and if I don't pay attention, then I get the NCIS slap across the face, and if I still don't pay attention, I get the 2x4 over my head. And that's where I ended up when I couldn't get out of bed. So pay attention to those little pokes because they're telling you something's going wrong. But the beauty is when you clean up and you eat real food and real nutrients, your body wants to heal, and it helps you go back to getting everything you need to feel great again. Now, you ask me, how do I travel? I just came back from a 4-day retreat in Sedona, and so I didn't want to eat their food, didn't know where they were getting it. I was actually doing a workshop on life balance, so I went to Whole Foods. I know Whole Foods can be expensive, but it was only for 3 days. I bought salad from their salad bar. I had taken mason jars, large mason jars with me, and I put all those vegetables into the mason jar, and then I took my own olive oil and vinegar, and that's what I had. I bought Applegate organic cold cuts, which you can buy at most grocery stores these days. And I cut those up and put them on top of my salad, and then I added some seeds. So I had this gorgeous rainbow salad that I ate for lunch every day. And people were starting to feel like, gee, where's mine? Because it's a yummy way to eat, and you want to eat all the colors of the rainbow because they each have a gift that they give to the body, and then they work together synergistically to make you healthy. So that's a way to do it. Now, if I'm out and about, I live in Los Angeles, if I'm out here and I'm starving and I haven't prepared, I will run into the grocery store and buy some Applegate cold cuts and a tomato and a head of lettuce and make my own wrap. It's just as fast as going through a fast food line. And in case you didn't know this, fast food has no nutrition to it at all. It's all fake ingredients. So you really don't want to be eating it because it gives your body nothing to survive on. And processed foods are not much different. I have a theory now that I've been doing this for a while that you have to read all your labels, and if there's something on that label you can't pronounce, you don't buy it. And if there's something on that label that you don't know what it is, you don't buy it. The things that you don't know what they are, There's 39 different names for MSG. They know we all know that MSG.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of those things are MSG because they're hiding them from us. So you want to become very conscious of what you put in your body. Now, if I'm going to be out and about for a long time, I prepare. I have a little tiny refrigerator that I bought on Amazon, so I put my stuff in there. We drive from LA to Sedona on a regular basis, and so we take all our own food. We have our favorite places where we stop and have our picnic. We are prepared to eat properly, and I drink all my filtered water now out of stainless steel. And if we're going to be traveling, we have big jugs that we fill up to refill our bodies. You pay a lot of money. It was, I think, $150 originally to put the filter on my kitchen sink. So, but how quickly do you amortize that by putting your own water into stainless steel? It doesn't take long at all. And then you're drinking really good water, free of all the chemicals, and you do this long enough and your body starts to celebrate, which goes back to when's the last time you asked yourself how you feel? I just turned 70.
Wow.
And I feel better than I did in my 50s because I'm eating this way.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
So
and
it's worth
you're
it.
Beautiful.
You have to do it long enough to know that it's worth it. And my book also talks about stress, toxic lack of sleep, toxic relationships. I was in one when I got sick. I was in a long-term relationship, and I woke up one morning, and he said, I don't like it that you're sick. I said, okay, Ducky, what am I supposed to do with that? Had I stayed with him, I don't think I would have gotten well. But it was an angel's hand on my back, moving me out of that relationship. I took a course from a woman named Allison Armstrong about how to find the right guy. I put it into play, and I went on the old fogey internet site and met the most wonderful man who only lived 10 minutes away from me. And 3 years ago, I married him.
Oh, wow.
And he supports me in every way. And the key is to stop trying to fit into his life, put out exactly what you want, and pull him in. And I pulled in my perfect match. Where's he been all my life? So life is good. And then I also talked about talked about toxic lack of movement because I don't like to exercise. But guess what? You got to. So I now do two things. And my chapter is how to exercise for people who don't like exercise, like me. I bought what I call my mini trampoline. It's a rebounder. And you don't have to pay a fortune for them. I think I bought mine from Home Shopping for around $100. And I tape country western music, which wasn't my thing, but I've fallen in love with it. And every morning for 30 minutes, I jump to a video of country western music, and I get all that sludge out of my lymph system because it makes it go around and clean up all my cells, and then it flushes it out of my body. And then for the other parts of exercise, I do a Korean Tao form of yoga, which I find very relaxing. It releases stress. My husband does it with me, and we love it. So there's all kinds of solutions in my book for your life. And if you follow it and you do it and you don't get overwhelmed by it because you don't have to, it's perfectly doable. And the rewards are huge, because your body celebrates.
I love it. I love it. Really, a question came in regards of, and this would be an easy answer for you, but they want to know how early, when of course, with the breast milk, and then as kids evolve and start eating, we don't say regular food when we mean food, but should actually we start as soon as, with the, to avoid the toxins, and as the kids progress and start eating food?
In all honesty, you can't start early enough. Let me give you the most frightening statistic that I came across. 53% of our children have some kind of chronic illness that's going to be with them for their entire life. And one of the things that's happening is babies are being born with a toxic load right from the start from their mothers when they pop out. That wasn't true in my generation. but it's really true now. And so the kids are starting off 10 steps behind with toxic load, and you want to start as soon as possible. And what I didn't know when I wrote my book, and I'm going to revise it this summer, is inflammation is not just autoimmune disease. It's every single chronic disease that we have. It's cancer. Cancer feeds on sugar. Sugar is a toxin. You need to create an alkaline environment. If you don't want cancer, start eating like you had cancer now so that you don't ever get it. Just because this is the third big thing people say to me, I got bad genetics, I'm going to get it anyway. No, you're not. You, by your lifestyle and what you put in your body, control whether you turn that genetic light switch on or off. So it's cancer, it's dementia, it's Parkinson's, it's IBS and all the things that go on in your gut. It's acid reflux. I don't know how many clients I get that talk to me because I have horrific acid reflux. It's not too much acid, it's too little, and what you have to do is start to eat an alkaline diet, which are all the colors of the rainbow in your vegetables, so that you put, I had terrible acid reflux when I got sick. I don't have it ever anymore because I'm eating an alkaline diet and I'm drinking my filtered water with lemon, which becomes alkaline in my body. But headaches, all the little hiccups that our bodies go through, that's all the precursor or full-blown inflammation. So you cannot start too early to pay attention to this and to pay attention to this in raising your children. It also can even impact families with kids with autism. It may not cure them, but it sure gives the kids a chance to grow up healthier than they would otherwise.
Wow, I love it. And Cheryl, we want to actually, you have, and I'm so glad, first of all, I'm very proud of you for taking this mantle of your life, because this literally could change the world if we actually will listen. And the other word comes to mind is be disciplined in regards of the preparation. But we actually prepare all the time and we don't really realize it. And we have to drive to work. We prepare for that because we have gas in the car. We have whatever form of transportation. We prepare what we're going to wear. Right. So we actually do that. We just need to extend that over into our eating habits, and we actually, it'll pay off. We'll feel better. I'm true to that because I learned the hard way of some things that I have tried to eat that didn't turn out the right way. Yes. But we commend you, first of all, for taking that amazing movement for the whole world globally, that we actually can get the information that we actually can do better. But tell us this, because, I'm enjoying this. We don't have to get you back. Tell us anything that we may have missed in our conversation. And then please get your first book and also the e-book that you mentioned, and really to get on your email list so we'll know how to.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on my newsletter list because things are changing all the time. And get on my Facebook page. I have two Facebook pages, Cheryl M. Health Muse, where I talk about general health, and then It Feels Good to Feel Good, where I talk about toxins. So it's important to follow me on both places on Facebook. You can get my book right from my website, which is Cheryl M. Health Muse, and it's Cheryl with a C, M like Mary, Health Muse, M-U-S-E, because I want to inspire you to be your healthiest self. So if you go to my website, it's loaded with free information that's very useful, but if you go to my store, the first tab is my book, and you can buy it right from there. And the advantage of buying it directly from me is then I know to send you the workbook right away. You can also buy it right from Amazon, but then you need to drop me an email and tell me to send you the free workbook, and that is, again, Cheryl M. Health Muse, only at gmail.com. You can also go to my store and go down to my page for ebooks, and you'll find my 30 ways to save on food. My ebook is on that tab. I have one, Skin is an Inside Story, because I've had a lot of people come to me with horrific psoriasis, acne, or eczema, and believe it or not, they also all start in the gut. And I'm about to put up a book that's called Feel Great Now, which is an introduction to toxins. And then if you keep going down that store tab, you'll find there's a free class, Feel Great Now, that's on Wellness Universe, Learn It Live. You have to go register for Learn It Live, and then you can sign up to take the hour class and watch it at your convenience virtually, which is a more in-depth introduction to toxins. And if you like my style, I then have a 5-part class that you can buy for Food Quality Matters. And I go through each category of food and talk to you about all the deceptions we were told our whole life by marketing. Really blew me away. We've been lied to so much. Little things like you don't want to be drinking non-fat and low-fat dairy because they're taking the best part of the milk and keeping it for themselves, and then they're spraying milk and putting it back into the milk, which is sticking to your arteries like cholesterol. So there's all kinds of things that I have learned that are in there that are valuable so that you can avoid disease down the line. And so you can get them from a variety of different places. But on my website, read my blogs. I tell you how to get a good night's sleep. I tell you how to release your stress. There's just all kinds. There's even my little book of balance based on my workshop last weekend in my ebook store. So CherylMHealthMuse.com.
I love it. And I commend you on the marketing. The names of your products are amazing. I'm over here just screaming and jumping for joy. That's one of my things that I really like is when people brand themselves and actually the titles of their products. They grab you by just hearing the title. So, please.
Well, you'll see.
Wow, we just thank you.
My little broccoli, that's my jubilant broccoli, she's me. The artist that did illustrations for my book decided that I have curly hair and red lips, and so he made a broccoli for me, and she's all over my branding because I feel great.
Oh, I
she's
love
my
it.
jubilant broccoli. I know.
I love it.
I didn't want the book to be dry. And I'm a jeweler by trade. I'm about to sell my jewelry business because I want to be full in on this. But I've worked with artists my whole life, so I decided I needed fun art to go chapter by chapter to give you a smile as you're going through the discovering process about the toxins. So even the illustrations are a hoot.
I love it. I love it. Well, Cheryl, we thank you so much for, first of all, for being in your purpose, and we thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here at Good Deeds. If you need us for anything, please, don't hesitate.
Thank you so much for having me, Renee. I cannot thank you enough.
I love it. And ladies and gentlemen, we go over to the website. Now, all of her information will be on our website, will be on our social media, and we know we email you out the information. And the replay will be ready at Amazon, YouTube, and all our other outreach places that we go very soon because I'm excited. I'm going over there and getting my books and stuff. So I want you guys to. And
if you have questions, you write to me. You can write to me if you have some questions. I want everybody to be healthy.
Yes.
That's my new mission.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. But thank you so much, Cheryl. We'll be contacting you very soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know it was a powerhouse. I know it. You don't have to say anything. The replay will be up very shortly. We just want you to actually live longer that you can obtain your goals and dreams in life. And we have to be mindful of what we put in our body. And guess what we're saying, too? You know how I say it, right? Be careful. And sleep is very important, okay? So please contact Miss Cheryl, and she's powerhouse. You know, here at Good Deeds, we love you. If you want to contact us, if you want to be a guest, you want your own podcast, you want to start your own magazine, whatever your heart desire. If I don't know, I guess I can find out who knows. Go to our website, reneesunday.com. Always remember, you do have a calling. You have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. You have to do 3 things, all of together. You have to believe, you got to trust, and we got to walk it out. You know, this is Good Deeds, and I'm Dr. Renee Sunday. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.